What's going on? In this video we're going to take a look at the Sawyer Micro Squeeze. Not a surprise what's in the package here, so we're not going to get too crazy about that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I got here, talk a little bit about the Micro Squeeze, how it compares to the other filters in the Sawyer lineup, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what made me go this route instead of doing something else. So if you're interested in what I've got here, you can just go to Amazon, search Sawyer Micro Squeeze, and you can get the same thing I got. So I guess it could just torn right there like it says. But all right. So in here, that's the whole kit. So here it is, the Sawyer Micro Squeeze. And this comes with the filter. It comes with, I believe, a 32-ounce bag and a drinking straw, a cap, and we'll see what else. So I'll pop this open real quick. So, oh, and a plunger. All right, well, I got a couple of those now. So we got your oh, I've never seen that before in their advertising. Removes 100% of microplastics. I don't want to drink plastics. That's good. And you know, I heard somebody else talk about this too. The bags seem to be different now, and I don't know if it's just for this little kit or they're a lot softer than they used to be. They used to be real rigid. So this is a 32-ounce squeeze bag. The plunger, so you can backwash, and you get one of these with pretty much every Sawyer filter that you get. So that'll go with my collection of them. A drinking straw, an adapter. I guess the point of this is you can backflow or backwash with a bag, or you can use this for like a gravity system. It'll attach onto the filter. The cap, a spare washer. Wow. So just like a normal cap to go on top. This would be for the actual bag. And then a spare washer that would go underneath the filter. So according to Sawyer, the filter weighs about 5.4 ounces, and it's kind of in between size of the mini and the regular Sawyer Squeeze. So this is my mini. You can see the size comparison there. It's shorter and a little bit fatter. So there's that, and then here it is compared to the normal Sawyer Squeeze, the 0.1 they used to call this, but it's actually got a smaller cap too. Looks like, well, maybe not smaller, slightly different. Maybe it's lighter. Who knows? It's kind of a cross between the two, really. It's got the, you could do like an inline here. It looks like for a hydro pack, like a hydro bladder, or you could connect the drinking straw to this. Let me put the mic right now. You got the straw. You could put the straw in here, and then you could actually put this right in the water and drink through it. You wouldn't want to do it that way. That's backwards. Don't do it that way. You put the straw on this end. That makes more sense. And then put this in the water and drink through. I guess you could do it this way too. Put this end in the water, put the cap on, drink through there. You got options, right? So yeah, it's threaded on both ends, so you can put this it's like a sports drink cap on here. You can put that on there if you're going to drink through it, or obviously it's threaded on the inside here for the Sawyer Squeeze bag, or a water bottle. You could squeeze through there. It's really loud here tonight. I don't know if you can hear that. But you could, like I said, double thread this. And then let's say you had a clean water bag. Like this, say you had clean water in here, you could actually back flush like that. Or you could also have a dirty water bag on this side, clean water bag on this side, hang them, and you got a very basic gravity filter system there. So it's pretty versatile. It's got a lot of different ways to connect it, more so than the Micro, at least the original version of the Micro, or I'm sorry, the original version of the Mini or the Sawyer Squeeze. I know the Mini, they made a new version of the Mini that's got that double threaded end like this. So pretty much that's it. That's the Sawyer Squeeze, or the Micro Squeeze. So flow rate should be between the two. Maybe we'll grab some water and we'll give it a test. Let's do that. All right, so this is just my Nalgene. This is 3/4 full. This isn't a timing test, see how fast it does. 32 ounces or 32, yeah, a liter, 32 ounces. We just want to see what the flow rate is like on this. So, going to start here, and this is with the new Sawyer Squeeze bag. Now, even, wow. So that was I'm pretty impressed with that. That was 30 ounces, right on the nose. But you can see, Sawyer Squeeze bags usually don't do that. See, that's all crinkled up like that. To give you an idea, I grabbed my old Sawyer Squeeze bag. Somewhere here. So that's this one, and this one you just kind of roll up, and it just stays like that. So I like the new bags. They're pretty nice. That worked really well. That worked a lot better than my Micro ever did, and better than my regular Sawyer Squeeze has been working recently. So I guess I'll talk about that now. So there's a lot of options for water filters now. All right, you've got the Sawyers, there's Tickadat and Bee-Freeze, there's things like LifeStraw, among others. You can find kind of, I don't want to say no-name ones, but brands that you never really heard of, all claiming to be similar to the Sawyer. And when I originally got my first Sawyer, the first one I got was the Micro, and I liked it because it was small, but the flow rate was, it was okay. I didn't really know any better. This was really my first water filter that I had. So it was fine for me, and then a friend of mine had a squeeze, like the full-size squeeze, and I saw the difference in the flow rate, and I was like, I gotta get one of these. So I've kept this as my backup, and I got the Sawyer Squeeze. And when I first got this, the flow rate on this was even better than what we just saw with the Micro. It was really, really good. But it was probably a year and a half ago, I I did like my first warmish weather backpacking trip. I went up to the Catskills. I just grabbed this. I never even thought about priming it first because it sat for a couple months. I don't use it in the winter because you don't want them to freeze. Even though they say it shouldn't cause a problem, I just wouldn't trust it after it froze. So I had it with me. It was in the 40s or 50s during the day. It wasn't below freezing at all. I had it in my pocket the whole time anyway. I got to camp, and it was really the first water I had come across. It was at camp, and this thing was seized up. So I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. I didn't know if I was gonna bail the next morning, if this had just completely died. But as I kind of tried to work the water through it a little bit, and just let it sit and kind of soak up the water, it started working again. But it's never worked full speed since then. It's been fine. I haven't had any issues with it. It started slowing down. And I backwash this after every trip. So it's not like it got a buildup of anything in it. It just started slowing down. Now, when I got back from my last trip that I used it, that would have been the old logger's path. And Dragon had his, and his was super fast. He was like going through 32 ounces of water, like nothing, squeezing it through. And I was fighting to get water out of this. So I came home and I pulled out the mini, and I put that on the bag, and this is actually flowing faster than this now. So I know I needed to replace this. So knowing I needed to replace it, I thought, well, I'm going to look at the options, because I've documented this before. This is my LifeStraw Universal. It's garbage. I'm gonna say that. In my opinion, this thing is garbage. It was great at first. This goes right into your Nalgene or another wide mouth bottle, or maybe an Echo Vessel. Maybe that was the other one that was supposed to fit in. And it's meant to be used so you can just scoop up water with your bottle, put this in, and drink right through it. And the flow rate was okay initially. I used it a couple times, and then it seized up like the Sawyer, but it was just done. It was shot. It wouldn't do anything. I contacted LifeStraw. They're like, oh, you gotta put a little bleach in water and let it sit for 24 hours, and then it'll be fine. And it started to filter again. And so I cleaned it out like I clean out all my filters at the end of the season. I put it away, and in the spring, I grabbed it this spring, and nothing. Seized up again. So when we went to Kentucky, I brought this with me, just as a backup, just to have it. Stuck it in the Nalgene, let it sit for 2 months. This is not a joke. I let this sit in my spare Nalgene for 2 months before it sat in water long enough that it would filter again, and it filters slow. This is supposed to be, LifeStraws are like for emergency use. 2 months, you need water, you're dead. Doesn't matter. So this, done with it. It might wind up going in the Nalgene and just staying there, just as emergency. It still smells like bleach. Just for emergency purposes, but I mean, you almost have to constantly keep these things wet. So LifeStraw, that was out of the question. Wasn't go with LifeStraw. Thought about doing a Cadet and Be Free, because you got the bottle, like the squeeze bottle goes in. It's a similar concept where you use the bottle to scoop up the water and you filter as you drink. You can also use that to squeeze. They make a larger bottle now, and then the company that makes their bottles makes some larger bags like the Sawyer makes for those. So I thought about getting one of those. The prices are similar, but as I researched them, one thing stood out, and it made me just stick with Sawyer. And I figured I've got the micro and the normal. I'd try the mini, or I got the mini and the normal. I figured I'd try the micro. Sawyer, they all say that they're 0.1 micron filters. There's a difference though. Sawyer's are absolute 0.1 micron, which means that's it. That's the largest size opening in that filter. 0.1 micron is it. The rest of them are averaged of 0.1 micron, which means it could have like a 0.5 and a 1.5 micron, and that's tiny, right? Or yeah, 0.05 or a 0.2 or something like that. It could have something like that. You don't know. That could be the difference between getting sick and not getting sick when you're on a trail. Now, in the United States, in North America, generally say you don't really have to be that concerned about it, but you never know. You don't know if you're coming up on beaver water or what's upstream, anything like that. I want to know that's 0.1 micron, and Sawyer's, they guarantee them. So, yeah, I stuck with the Sawyer. I've never had a problem with the Sawyer, other than the things slowing down. But I've had that filter for 3 years, so yeah, all right. It probably hasn't done its 100,000 gallons or whatever they say, but I've gotten really good use out of it. So that's why I stuck with the Sawyer, and I'll be interested to see how this holds up. I like the fact that it's smaller. Like, I'm used to carrying this around, and that's not huge. Like, when you look at them side by side, you think, oh yeah, that's a huge difference. But this is not really all that big. This is really compact for what it does. So yeah, excited to get this out and use it. I mean, I know what to expect. It's gonna filter water, and but I'm digging this bag. I like the fact that it's less rigid than the old ones by a lot. All right. Well, I needed a new bag anyway because I'm down to my last one. The other ones all start getting holes in them, and just from use. Not that there's anything wrong with the bags. It happens when you use them as much as I do. So, what do you guys think? What do you think of the new Micro? What do you use for water filtration? I know you can just boil water, and you should be fine. But for as much space and weight as this takes to carry with you, rather be safe than sorry, right? CYA. In really bad water, like there's a campsite over in Pinchot that's right on a creek, and as you're approaching the campsite, you pass a couple beaver dams. There's a beaver pond where they flooded out a marsh. There's beavers around. So I will filter the water, boil it, let it cool off, and then filter it again, just to be safe. Nobody needs Giardia when they're out backpacking. So, yeah, good addition to my kit. Well, an upgrade to my kit. And be seeing this out on the trail shortly. So let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next. And that's the end of that.